So in the previous class, we have seen how to handle dropdowns. So especially the dropdowns are having selector tag. So we can use select option method provided by Playwright. So they are the common dropdowns most of the times we can see on the web pages, and also call them as a static dropdowns. Means the elements in the dropdowns are always same. The options are always static, and in the same order the options will be available, and we can easily handle them by using select option method. And we have seen the different things, what are other assertions we can use, and so on. So today we will focus on other type of drop downs. Like suppose if you do not have a select tag for the drop down, then how we can handle them. So mostly we can call them as a bootstrap drop downs. So bootstrap drop down is we don't have a select tag, and the drop downs are designed using a bootstrap technology. So bootstrap is another feature, and the developers will use to make elements more attractive. So not only drop downs, bootstrap will be used in different type of elements. Okay, that is a kind of a technology the developers will apply on those elements to make them more attractive. So most of the time, sometimes if you see drop downs, if you don't find select a tag for the drop down, so then how we can handle them, because we don't have a default methods provided by Playwright. So even Selenium is also don't have a default methods. Then how we can handle them? So I'll show you some examples, and there are multiple things are here. You need to understand them. Let me just write a notepad. So static drop down means what? Static drop down in the sense we have a select tag. We have a select tag is available for this drop down. So that's the first thing. So is my voice clear to everyone? Think this is okay from my side. Is my voice clear to everyone? Okay. Okay. Fine. So there are multiple types of drop downs. So first one is static drop down, and which is almost having every time is having selected tag. And second is a dynamic or auto suggest drop down. Dynamic or auto suggest drop down. So what does it mean? The options keeps changing. So we don't have a selected tag. Options keeps changing dynamically. Options are keep changing dynamically. So this is auto dynamic or auto suggested drop down. So options won't be the same every time. It keeps changing dynamically. So whenever you type some keyword, so it will give you auto suggestions. So this is one type of drop down. So this is also called as bootstrap drop down. And the other type of drop down, we have a hidden drop down. Hidden. So means what? The elements options are there. So options are static, but the problem is we cannot locate those options. We cannot inspect those options, because if you want to capture all the options from the drop downs, which we cannot inspect, which we cannot capture directly. So such type of drop downs are called hidden drop down. So for example, the last class we have already seen static drop downs. So if I go back to this page, these are all static drop downs. So these are all elements. They are fixed. So they don't change any order, and they don't come dynamical also. So these are all fixed elements which we can see in this drop down. This is static drop down. So dynamic auto suggested drop downs. Options are keep changing means what? Suppose if I look at any e-commerce website, let's say I'm opening flipkart.com. So this is a search box, right? So here if I say something, let's say mobiles, I just typed one some keyword, and you can see these are auto suggestions are coming dynamically. So every time you don't see the same options, and every time you don't see the same order. So it depends on the keyword which we provided. So auto suggestion options will come here. So this is called auto suggest drop down. Options are keeps changing dynamically. Other type of drop down called hidden drop down. Hidden is nothing but what again? Uh, this is also hidden. I'll tell you how it is hidden. Suppose if I go back to any other application, let's say Orange HRM demo. So hidden drop down. I'll tell you what is this. Let's say I'm logging into this page. And once you log in into this page, you can see, go to PM tab, and here you can see some drop downs. You can see job titles, subunit, employee status, include. These are all hidden drop downs. So I am saying hidden drop downs. For example, let us say you can directly inspect this. This is also comes under Bootstrap. So inspect this element, because whichever dropdown is not having select tag, they are all comes under the Bootstrap. Okay. Now, if I look at this, this is a dropdown actually. So this dropdown doesn't have any select tag, so which is having div tag. And if I try to open this dropdown, these options are not visible in the DOM. So in the DOM, you cannot find these options. Even if you try to inspect this element, let's say account assistant, if I right click on this element, it is disappeared. As soon as you try to inspect this element or option, it is disappeared. Okay, so these options are only visible on the UI, but in the DOM, it won't show you. Right, this is something challenging thing. So this is called hidden dropdown and also comes under Bootstrap. This is designed using Bootstrap, because whichever dropdown is not having selected tag, which are all comes under the Bootstrap dropdowns. Okay. Now we'll see how we can handle all these types of dropdowns one by one. So first, let us start with auto suggest to dropdown, and then we'll come back to the Bootstrap. Okay, hidden dropdown, and there are different techniques are there to capture the options from the hidden dropdown. All right, so these are different types of dropdowns. These are the latest technology they have implemented in latest technology. So we need to practice this. Especially the modern web applications, you can see these type of drop downs most of the times in the especially most modern type of applications. You don't see the static drop downs nowadays. Okay, so only dynamic or auto suggestion drop downs or hidden drop downs most of the times you can see. Now we'll see how we can handle them. So first, let us start with this auto suggested drop down. So whichever keyword you provided, you will see multiple options. These are dynamic. Similarly, let me show you. Suppose I say google.com, and here you have a search page. So here, if I type something, let's say Playwright. So according to this keyword, you can see there are multiple options are displaying. Again, these are all dynamic options. And here you can inspect. You can just right click and inspect. You can inspect. But what is the problem with this? These options will not display in the same order, and you won't find the same locator for all the elements. So it depends on the keyword, the suggestions will dynamically displayed here. Okay, so this is also auto suggest drop down, we can say, or we can say auto complete, anything auto complete or auto suggestion, something like this. So this is other option. So first we will see this Flipkart. So how we can handle this. And one more specialty in the Flipkart is if I just inspect something, suppose I want to capture all these options. Even these options are also hidden. You cannot inspect these options. So that is another challenge here. If you right click on this element, suppose I want to look at this Vivo mobile 5G. If I just right click on this element, it is disappeared. It is disappeared. Even if you just open the DOM structure, let's say I'm pressing F12, opening my DOM structure here in elements. Now I want to locate this any element. Just try to take the inspector here. Try to take the inspector here and try to locate. It is disappeared. We cannot handle this. Now we'll see how we can handle this particular drop down. Okay. So let's go back to the VS Code and create a new file, and I call it as auto suggest dropdown, auto suggest dropdown dot spec dot ts. So you understand about this nature, right? So you can say mobiles, these elements we cannot inspect because these are also hidden. So in the DOM, you cannot see these elements. As soon as you try to inspect this element, they are disappear. So this is an auto suggest. At the same time, it is also hidden. Both properties are matching with the search box. Okay. All right. So we'll see how we can handle this. There are multiple techniques are there. So I'll show you how we can use those techniques. So very challenging thing, this type of thing. So we handle. All right, so let's go back to the VS Code. Now I created a new file, auto suggest dropdown spec.ts. Now in this, let me write a test. First, we will import uh, test, comma, expect, comma, locator from at the rate playwright slash test. So we have imported required package. Now I'm writing a test. So the first parameter is at the title. I can call it as a auto suggest drop down and comma. So now we need to write an arrow function, which is taking page picture as a parameter, and this is an arrow function. And we have to also use async here. Okay, this is the structure of the test. Now, so let us start writing the test. So first thing, we need to say await page dot go to, and here we need to pass the URL of the application that we are passing. Okay, perfectly fine. Okay, so now, so once you pass the URL, so first, before handling that options, we need to first locate this search box, and then we have to pass some text here. You have to fill some text here, right? So let's inspect this input element. Let's inspect this first, the search box, and like this. So this is an input tag, and there are multiple attributes also available for this element. And you can see type, title, name, autocomplete, placeholder. There are many attributes are there. So I can use any of the attributes by writing CSS. So I have something called, do you have any ID for this? No. So name is available. So I can use this name attribute along with the tag. So I'm trying to use CSS. So let's go back to selector hub and say input is my tag name. Input is my tag name. And in this, I can provide name attribute. I can say name equal to Q. Right. So this is able to locate the input box. Let's try to locate that element. So await page dot locator and specify that locator. And what we need to do on this element, we need to pass some text on this element. So directly I'm using fill, and let us say I'll try to pass some keyword. Let's say I'm typing something called smart. So as soon as you type smart, it will show you the different options: smart watch board, smartwatch, smartphone, smart TV. So related smart keyword, all the options are displayed. So I want to find all these options one by one. So I'm just passing something called smart. This is my search keyword. Okay. So the after as soon as you provide that this keyword, so what will happen is these options will be displayed. Now the second task is we need to capture all the tasks, because these options also not displayed in the DOM here, because these are all hidden elements. Okay. So as soon as you search for some keyword, it is searching options from the server based on the keyword, and it is displaying here. So if you try to inspect any of these elements, it is disappeared. It is disappeared. Even if you right click on this any option, it is disappeared. So this is the challenging. So to handle this, there are multiple options are there, multiple techniques are there, but every time all techniques won't work. Sometimes one technique may work and sometimes another technique will work. So you need to check all the techniques. Okay, the first is selector hub is provided. Selector hub is provided one option called debugger. So for example, let's say here I'm typing smart. Now I want to see all these options in the DOM. When I inspect, so in the DOM, you won't see those options. Let's say inspect this input box, and here it should display all the options. So as soon as you type here, these options won't come inside the DOM. So to capture these options, to locate these options, what we have to do is go to selector hub, and here there is an option called here. This is the one. So turn on debugger. Turn on debugger. This is one option which is available. So once you select this option, how we can use it? As soon as you click on this option, within 5 seconds, you need to search for the keyword and keep it open. Once it is open, then the screen will be freezed, and then you can see those options in the DOM. So I'll show you how we can do this, right? So first click on this turn on debugger. As soon as you turn on it, then immediately just click on this and open those options. So after a few seconds, the screen will be freezed and you will able to see those options in the DOM structure. But sometimes it is working, sometimes it is not working, it is not stable. So I'm still waiting for that screen feature. It is still not freezing. See, this is not freezing. So let me open the page once again, close this. So it is not working for all the pages. Earlier it is working fine, but there are some instability issues in this. So maybe that is the reason it's not properly working. It's a simple smart. Click on the debugger and then open this window like. So if you do like this, the screen will be freezed for sometimes. And then you will able to see these options in the DOM itself. Let me try once again. It's taking some time. Let's wait for a few seconds and check. It's already gone. Okay. So this is not properly working. We can try this later. So you need to just open this debugger, just say turn on debugger. And as soon as turn on, within 5 seconds, you can say, open this box and make sure your options are displayed. And after that, it will be screen will be freezed. After freezing, you can find these elements on the DOM. So you can write a locators and all, and then you can use them in your automation script. So this is the UI part, turn on debugger. So same thing you can try from the sources also. You can just go to sources. And here this is an option. Here it is parse script execution. So this is another option. So as of now, you can see this is got freezed now. Okay, now what I'll do is first let me open this and then click this. Now you can go back to the elements. Now the screen is got freezed and take this arrow mark and then you will able to see them. Where it is, go to selector hub / input. Even this option also won't work sometime because this is some problem we have, because this debugger is also designed by using this option. So it is currently resume script execution. So I just stopped it, then it is gone. So even this is option also not working, but sometimes it will work, sometimes may not work. So the third option I will show you, or that will definitely work. So what we need to do is just open this box and go to inspect. And here we have something in the DOM itself. In the DOM itself, you can just say Control Shift P. The shortcut key is Control Shift P. And once you open the DOM, inside the DOM, you need to type this command, Control Shift P. And then you will see one window like this. Here we can execute some commands. So what are those commands you can execute? Simply open this smart and here you can execute this command, Control Shift P. After that, you will have something emulate. Just type emulate here. Emulate focused page. So this is the command. As soon as you type emulate focused, it will show you auto suggestion. Emulate a focused page. So just click on it. So once you emulate a focused page, now you can see the options are displayed. And now you are able to inspect this element. You can say take this inspector. Now you can see it is still not disappear. It is still available for you. And even if you look at this DOM also, let's say I'm inspecting one element like this. And you can see in the DOM also, all the options are displayed in the form of list items. You can see that. So this is the first element. Here you can see in the anchor tag, you can see the value. Let's go to the another element, list item. So now the screen is got freezed. So here you can see in the div tag here inside the div, so you can see the data. You can see smart keyword is available. So smart TV, suppose I want to inspect this smart TV, and inside this anchor tag, and here you can see that smart and TV. Okay, so this option you can see in the span tag. So this option will be very helpful. So once you located this element, once you write in the locator for selecting all the options, now I want to write a locator, so which will capture all the options. So go to selector hub, how we can write the locator for this. So if I look at this, all these li tags, basically li is representing list items. These li tags are part of the UL tag. So this UL is a parent tag actually. So I'm starting from here because this is also having some attributes we can directly use like this. I can say UL. So three elements are there. And inside the UL, I'm say LI. 8 elements are there. Now we can look at this CSS. This CSS is exactly matching with all the options provided in this auto suggestion. So in the UL, each LI is representing an option. Each LI is representing an option. Again, if you say inside the LI, we have anchor tags, 0 element. Why? Because in LI, the anchor tag is not a direct option. So in the LI, here there are div is there, inside the div anchor is there. So we cannot get anchor tag directly because this is absolute CSS. So I'm writing UL/CI. So 8 elements are matching as of now. So I'm using this CSS to look at this options. So once you are able to capture this, then again go back to the sources. So sorry, again Control Shift P, because once we have written the locator, so once you finalize your locator, then you have to disable that feature. So again, emulate, focused, emulate. You can see this time you won't see emulate focused page. Instead of, you can see do not emulate a focused page. We already emulated the focused page. Now we want to we should make do not emulate a focused page because we already written the locator for all the options. Now once you click on this, again options are disappear. You cannot inspect the elements. Okay, so this option will be very useful. You can try this one. Now we have written the locator for all the options for hidden elements. Now the next thing is what we need to capture them. Okay, we need to capture those elements. So this is a search text. So once you provided the text tag, next thing is get all the suggested options. So how we will get the suggested options on the UI? Command is Control Shift P. If you are working on Mac, Command Shift P you have to type. Command Shift P is a shortcut only on the DOM structure. Only inside the DOM you need to type. So after that, you need to select this option, emulate focused page. Okay. So now we have captured options using CSS. So I said page dot locator, and provide this locator. So this will capture all the options which are suggested. So now I'm going to store them in a variable called options. And this is a const variable I'm taking options. And the type of the variable is again, it's a locator type. Fine. So now I captured all the options into a one single variable. Now I want to count how many options are there exactly. So how to count options? We have a method called count. So options dot count. So this will actually returns the number of options present in the dropdown, suggested in the dropdown. So that also I'm going to store in a variable. Let's say const count. And count will return anything, promise or anything. It will also return the promise. Count will return the promise. So we should make await here. Okay, perfect. So now I have counted. So let me just print them in the console.log. I say console.log. I say number of options, number of suggested options. Here I'm just printing count. Okay, so this is the first achievement. So we have find out how many options are suggested. And these options are dynamically suggested. Sometimes you may only find only 5, sometimes it may be 10, sometimes it may be 15. So the value is not constant. So you cannot put assertion on the count here. We can just display how many number of options are displayed. All right, so let's run this code and see how many options are displayed. So here in the test auto suggest drop down spec.ts, and I'm running in headed mode, auto suggest drop down. So it is went very faster, and you can see number of suggested options are 0. So something is happening here. So what I'll do is let me just wait for some time here. So what I will do is here we are counting. It is giving the suggestions also automatically. Suppose for example, let's say uh, let us comment this code and see whether actually it is giving suggestions or not. So here I'll put some time so that we will see exactly whether it is giving suggestions or not, first of all. Okay, now it is giving suggestions. See, it is giving the suggestions, but it is not able to capture those suggestions. Here we are trying to capture all the options. We are trying to count it, but what it is saying, it is giving simple 0. So again, when I run this once again, see, just observe the output. Here it is giving the auto suggestions. See, it is giving all auto suggestions. See, it is still giving 0. So why it is giving 0? Because whenever you are searching for some keyword, it is internally sending Ajax call. That means what? This data should come from the server at the runtime. So based on the value or keyword which we provided, it will search the data based on this keyword and return from the server. So here it will take some time, at least a few seconds of time it will take to communicate client to the server, server to client. So in this particular case, auto waiting mechanism won't work. Okay, in this particular case, auto wait mechanism won't work. Why? Because at the runtime, this keyword will search with other products, and accordingly, whatever the products are matching, and then those products are displayed in the search auto suggest. So this is a dynamic call, Ajax call basically. So auto waiting won't work in this particular case. So now what we need to do, as soon as you provided some keyword before before capturing the options here, you need to put some wait time here. Okay, here you need to put some wait time. This is explicitly, we need to add this wait time out for. Otherwise, it will take some time. Immediately we're trying to capture the option, so it won't work. Okay. Now this will solve the problem. So just observe, previously we got 0 options. Now I'm running one more time. So here make it 3. It is taking some time. So once you run this code, so this time we will get all the options. See, it is giving all the options and waiting for 5 seconds. And now we can look at the output here. Suggested options are exactly 8. Okay, so these are very rare cases, especially when you run, when you search keyword in auto suggested box, it will take some time to get all the options, a fraction of seconds. So to avoid that problem, so we can put this. Okay, and after that we get all the options count. So what else we can do on this? So we have get all the options and we have find out how many are there. Next, suppose I want to print those options in my console window. I want to print all the suggested options. So we can print them using looping statement. So I can say printing all the suggested options in the console. Okay, so I want to print all the suggested options in the console. So what we can do, we can simply use looping statements. So we already know how many options are there. So total how many are there? So count 8 options are there. So as of now, 8 options are there. So this number is not fixed. Depends on how many options are auto suggestions provided by the application. So now I'm writing one for loop based on the count, because here we don't know how many values every time will display. So from this count, I will write. So we already captured the options. So from these options, we need to extract each and every option. And from that option, again, we have to extract the inner text. This option is nothing but what is a locator. This is not an array. This is not an array. So we cannot use for off loop. When to use for off or in loops? If it is an array, then only we can use. So can we use array here? From the options, if you want to capture each and every option, we cannot use an array, right? So then what we need to, we can use a general for loop. By using index, we can capture the options. So here I'm writing something. Let's say, let I start from 0. And how many times this loop we need to repeat depends upon the number of suggestions, number of options. So I less than count, because we already counted how many options are there. So I less than count, and then I plus plus. Every time I'll increase the count of I. Okay. So for example, let's say before writing the for loop, for example, let's say I want to capture a specific option. So here I have multiple options, right? I want to capture the specific option. Among 8, I want to capture second option or fifth option or seventh option. So normally how we will capture? We can take this locator options. We have a method called nth. We have a first, last, nth. We have discussed these methods, right? So same method I can use. Nth of, here you can pass some index. Let's say I want to get the third option or fifth one. So I can pass 5. Dot, we use a method called innerText. Text content we cannot use here. Text content will return the content of the element, but here we need to capture the value, inner text value. So this particular statement will actually return the text of that particular element. Now I'm just trying to print. I say console.log of which one it is, fifth element or fifth option. Fifth option I'm just trying to print. So here I'm getting only the one option. Here I'm getting only one option. So we'll try to capture all the options using for loop later. So let us try to print this first. Fifth option, what option you will get. So this is a procedure. So from the all options, we can capture a specific option from the auto suggest. So it is displayed all the auto suggestions and it is closed. So now we can see this is returning promise actually. So we need to keep await here. Okay, let me run once again. So this statement is captured only one option. Okay, now it is got closed. See, this is the fifth option, smart watch for female. This is the fifth option it is got retrieved. So with this statement, we are able to capture the suggestion, one single suggestion. Now I want to capture all the suggestions. So then inside the looping statement, we have to use the same thing, but here instead of hard coding this value, we need to just pass I value. We need to just pass I value. Okay. So just replace the hard coded value with I. So first time I value 0, first element will be returned. Second time I value 1, 2, 3, 4. Similarly, how many suggestions are suggested? So those many number of times the for loop will be repeated. So now comment this. So this for loop will extract all the options. So let me print them. Or you can write one more console here. Console.log printing all the auto suggestions. So this will print all the suggestions. So you can see that. So launching the page, searching, and then after 5 seconds, it will automatically closed. Yes. So you can look at this. Uh, so options dot nth of I. So here this is hard coded value. So every time it is printed only fifth option. So just try to remove this and then it will print all the options. Okay. So now we can look at this. All the options we are able to capture from the auto suggest drop down. Okay. So text means we will able to get the inner text. So for example, let's say, okay, here we use inner text, right? So instead of that, try to use text content and we'll see what you will get. I'm using text content. So instead of inner text, I'm using text content. Okay, now we'll see what you will get. Okay, so text content is also written the all the values. So you can use also text content. Suppose if you want to capture all the options at a time, then you can use all text content. So you can use this. So options dot all text content also you can use. Just like in the previous class, we have seen right how we can capture using text contents. Same way we can also use like this. So you can see when I use the text content also, you are getting same thing. Here there is no problem. But in the previous class, when I use text content, it is also added some spaces and slashes, right? So again, to remove those slashes and spaces, we use a trim method. By using map, we have removed. So that is a process we have to follow. But here, when I use the text content, it is returning all the text content as usual. So original values, it is written. It is not added any spaces, anything. So go for inner text or you can use text content. So the major difference is, for example, let's say if you have HTML like this, I'll tell you the difference here. So it depends on the HTML DOM, you need to choose the right one. Let's say I have some tag like say, let's say I have span, some tag like this. And let's say ABC and I say span. Okay, this is the one thing I have. And the other thing is a span, some, let's say, so label equal to some ABC, something like this. And here some name and then close this tag. Okay, so let's say this is the one. Let's say I have two different tags here. So in these two tags, if I look at the first one, can we get this ABC using inner text? Inner text. By using inner text, can you can wait? Yes, because this is called inner text actually. So here we can use inner text. Here we can use inner text. So can we use the text content of this? Text content. Text content also we can use here. Text content also we can use here. But when you come to the second case here, what will happen is when I use inner text, this will return name colon. But when I use the text content, that will return the values of attributes. Okay, the values of, if you suppose if you don't have this, so then the text content will basically capture the text of the element. Sometimes the text can be here, sometimes the text can be here. So wherever it is basically written the text content of the element. Okay, mostly we will use this text content especially for uh, input elements. Okay, input elements. So we can not only input elements, we can use it for different elements, but inner text mostly used for input elements. Okay. So this is in the last class, we have used something. Suppose we have entered some text in the input box. Immediately, if we want to capture the text, how we have captured the text? Using inner text method, we capture the text. But in that case, text content won't work. Okay. So inner text method, will work especially for input boxes and other elements also. If you have elements like this, if you want to capture this inner text, you can use inner text. But text content is a special case. Sometimes the text content will return the exact value. Sometimes it may return along with the spaces. And if you want to capture the value from the input boxes, the text content won't work. You need to go with inner text. Okay. So these are the difference. Here, both are working in a similar way. Inner text and text content is same. So it is working in the similar way. So you can use either inner text or text content. And this is the alternative approach, guys. Also, suppose here text content is working fine. So in that case, instead of writing all these looping statements and all, you can use options dot get all text contents. So you can also use get all the text contents. You will get all the options here. Option text you will able to capture and you can print them. So that is another approach. So that we have seen in the static dropdown. Same approach you can also follow for this auto suggest dropdown. So either way, it is correct. Okay. So this is the alternative approach. So we can capture the options, and from the options, we are getting each and every option and capturing the inner text or capturing the text content. So this is another approach. Okay. So this is one requirement. So printing all the auto suggestions. So other than this, suppose I want to select one option. I want to go and select, suppose, smartphone. I want to click on the smartphone. So then you will get a smartphone related options. So then how we can do that? So to click on the soft phone, same thing again, repeat the loop. So once you printed all the options, select or click on the smartphone option. So again, the smartphone option display wherever it is. So dynamically it is displayed. So when you say smart here, maybe this smartphone display in this particular place or some other place. Dynamically, the order is rearranged every time. So you won't see the same element in the same place. So again, we can use this looping statement, but we need to add something. So for example, let me choose inner text again. So here, this is actually printing the text of the element. So instead of printing the text of the element, so I'm capturing the text in a variable, text variable. Let's make it as a const variable. Okay. So now I will compare this. If the text is smartphone, then I will go and click on that element. So here I can say if text will equal to smartphone, and then I want to click on this element. So how we can click on the element? Same option, option dot nth of I dot click. Click. So click method won't return any promise. So just a click. So after clicking on the option, we need to exit. Otherwise, it will go and find another options. So which option we have to use to exit from the loop? Which keyword? We need to exit from the for loop. So use a break. Immediately use break. So we can write a looping statement like this to capture the option and find whether it is equal or not. If it is equal, go and click on that option and exit from the for loop. So this will go and click on the specific option and exit from the looping statement. Let me run once again. So this is one logic, guys. So I can also use get all text content. So that is another way we can achieve this. So once you capture all the options, all the suggestions, from then you can use whichever logic you want. So you can see it is automatically selected and went to the another page also. I think I have not seen that. So let me open once again. Okay, so it is launching the page. Now you can just look at this, open the smart, and it should click on the smartphone. Now it went to smartphone page. You can see the keyword here. Okay, so this is a workflow. So we can do like this. We can handle the auto suggest dropdown like this. Capture all the options and find out the number of options and capture the specific option from the auto suggestion. We printed all the options. Also, we have selected one option or we have clicked on the one particular suggestion on the auto suggest dropdown. And this is mandatory step here. So as soon as you provided some keyword, it is trying to get the data from the server dynamically. So it is waiting for few seconds here. And after that, you can continue the rest of the things. Okay. So same example, you guys can try with the all text content. Instead of writing these looping statements, here I'm writing the locator, I'm getting the options. From the options, capture all text content. Instead of using inner text and methods, you can try to use all text content. Okay, you can try in that approach. So in the previous class, I have told you that. So for example, single select a drop down. So this is the approach. You can see that. So once we capture all the options, what we have done, we have captured the text and trim the text. And here we no need to trim actually. So here you no need to trim because we are getting the actual options. So this trim mechanism we can avoid. And once you get an options, you can directly capture the text values from the options and you can try this loop. For loop you can try because this will return an array. So this will return an array. So you can try this. All text content method will return an array. So once you get an all options and you can continue with the normal array. So why we have not used here for of array? Because here these options are not returning any array. So we are not returning any array. So we're directly getting the options by using nth method. So nth, first, last. So these methods are there for the options and we are using it. So there are multiple ways you can try this. Okay. Now, so you can try that as an assignment. Understood everyone. So how we can handle auto suggest drop down, and these options are hidden. These options are hidden. So again, if you try to inspect, it is disappeared. Okay. So this is one type, auto suggest. So now let us move on to the next one. We have Orange HRM demo application. So let me open this. So we need to start from the login. So we'll try to automate from the login. So admin 123 and then login. So once you log in, so you will able to see the PAM, go to PAM, and here this is the drop down. So now in the job titles, I will select one of the job title. Again, same behavior you can notice here. If I right click on this element, try to inspect, it is disappeared. Even if you open the DOM and inspect this element, you can't see that. You can see simply div tag, but the elements, even if you expand this, these elements won't appear on the DOM. This is also hidden element, hidden options. Okay, so we'll see how we can handle this. This is a bootstrap, new file, and I'll call it as a hidden bootstrap dropdown. Hidden bootstrap dropdown. So pop-up windows is a different concept. Okay, we will see that in the coming sessions. Pop-ups, alerts, windows, that is a different topic. It's not related to today's topic. Spec.ts. Okay, so hidden bootstrap dropdown .spec.ts. So now we'll see how we can handle this dropdown. So we need to start from the login itself. So let me first write the code. Import test expect and then locator from @playwright/test. Now I'm writing a new test. And this is bootstrap hidden drop down and write an arrow function. Pass the page picture and here async. Okay, so now structure is ready. So now let us start writing. Await page dot go to, and here we need to pass the URL of the application from the login screen. So let me open this login screen URL. So this is the login screen URL. Let me log out from this first. Okay, so this is a login screen URL. So that I have passed. Next, so first we need to automate the login steps. automate the login step. It is very simple, straightforward. We can find the CSS for username, password, and then we have to perform click action on the login button. So 3 steps we need to do. So I have already done them. So I'm just copying here. So this is CSS for the username input box and CSS for the password and then submit. So first 2 input boxes, we fill username and password. And the third one is a button. We perform the click action. So once you have done this, this is log into your application. So once you log into the application here, so we need to click on the PAM tag. So PAM is a tag. We need to click on this. So we need to locate this element. So you can write whichever locator you want. I'm trying to use a Playwright locator here, get by text. So if you want to capture all these options, admin, PM, leave, time, so you can use get by text. Simple, if I inspect this element, this is the text element. So PM, so we can capture this element using get by text. But sometimes if you have a duplicate text, suppose PM is present somewhere else in the page, don't use Playwright locator, directly go with CSS. So currently the PM is only one text which is present on the page. So I'm trying to use get by text method from Playwright to get the PAM. So here you need to click on the PAM. Click on the PAM. So you can say await page dot get by text. Get by text. This is Playwright locator I'm using. Just pass PAM. Dot click. So the click method won't return anything. So this is the clicking on PAM tab. So once you're clicking on the PAM tab, then you will see the drop downs. So once you click on the PAM like this, so then you will see the drop downs. So in the drop down, so we need to choose one of the drop down. Let's say job title. I'm trying to get this drop down. First, we need to click on this drop down. So once you click, then options are displayed. So you need to locate this element. So okay, just inspect this element and go back to selector hub and see. So it is giving relative CSS. It's very big CSS it is giving. You can see it is generated as a lengthy CSS. It's very, very big. So I'll just try to make it very smaller. So what I'll do is where exactly this icon is there in the eye. Eye is representing an icon. So this is the target element. So what I will do is this eye is present inside the form. So form is a parent tag for all these tags. So I'm just directly go to the form first. From there, I will try to capture the eye. So let us see the CSS here. I'll say form of form and I am saying. See 0 element is matching. Form I. FORM. So just to remove this. 4 elements are matching. Because we are directly jumping into the I from the form. When I say greater than, then what will happen? This is a parent element, this becomes the child element. So I is not a direct child of the form actually. So 0 element is returning. If I remove this, then wherever the I is present inside the form, it will able to capture. So now 4 elements are matching because there are 4 drop downs are there. So this is 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4 drop downs are there. So which one we have to select? So let us capture the 4 drop downs and then we will see which one we have to select. So this particular CSS is matching with the 4 drop downs. Now we will capture all the drop downs first. So how to capture all the drop downs? Here I can say await page dot locator of this is the element which is matching with all the drop downs. Now which drop down you want? From this I want to capture nth of second drop down because index will start from 0. So this is a 0, 1 and 2. 2 is what? Job title is the second one. So I'm getting all the drop downs from them, capturing the second drop down. In the second drop down, I'm able to perform click action like this. So what we have done here, we have clicked on job title drop down. job title drop down. This is the step. Okay, so once you click on the job title drop down, so then these options are displayed. So now we need to write a locator which will capture all these options from the drop down. So when I try to inspect, it is disappeared. Even in the DOM also, we are not able to see those options. Okay, now let us see how to capture these elements. So I will try one more time. Selector hub debugger and we'll see. So this is turn on debugger. Click on it and then open this. So it is not working for me. You guys can try if it is working fine. Okay. Otherwise, we need to use the emulator option. Okay. Still, it is not working. Okay. So what we'll do is let's go to Control Shift P in the DOM structure. So we need to open this window and say go to the DOM, Control Shift P. So Control Shift P. So you will see this window. So once you open this window, then you need to add one command. So what is that command? Emulate focused page. So we need to emulate a focused page. So as soon as you click on this, now the options are displayed here. You can see that. Now they are not disappeared. So we can easily inspect those elements. So now let me inspect one of the element. Let's say automation tester. So here it is, the automation tester. So we are able to see. And all these options are available inside the div tag. Inside the div again, there is a span tag, right? So let us see how we can capture all these options from this dropdown. So let us go and see the parent element. So this is the parent element. There is a role here, list box. So I'm writing one CSS like this. Parent element is what? Div. So div, I'm writing the attribute. So what is the role of this? Role equal to list box. Okay, one element is matching. So inside the list box, I want to capture all the options. So again, inside this, there is a div and every div is having span tag. Inside the span only, the option is available. So I'm giving one space here because I just directly want to jump to the span. So if I just give hash like this, the zero element is matching because span is not a direct element, not a direct child element for the list box. So just give one space and then say span. 30 elements are matching. So these are the actual options matching in the dropdown. So now let us use this CSS. This is not XPath, okay? This is a CSS. Now let us capture. Once you click on the dropdown, we will see all the options. Now we need to capture them. So we can say capture all the options from dropdown. So how to capture them? How to capture them? Await page dot, sorry, await page dot locator and specify this locator. So this will actually returns all the options in a variable. So let us hold them in a variable. So here await is not needed and options const. So this is again locator type. Okay, now we capture all the options. So next thing is what? We need to just print them using a looping statement. We can print them or we can count them first. So let us count them. So all the options. Let's say how to count, capture all the options and from the drop down and count. So how to count them? Simple. Options dot count. Options dot count. So this is actually returns the number of options. Let's create a variable called count and it is a const variable. This is obviously number. And here we need await. So count method will return a promise. So we need to say await. So now we know the count. So we can just print that value. So console.log number of options in a drop down. So we printed just a number of options, right? So not only this, okay, let's try to run this here till here. So do we have any synchronization problems or not? So we will know that. Terminal, new terminal. So what we have done here, first we have login to application. Then we click on the PM tab and then we click on the drop down, job title drop down. And then we captured all the options and find out the total number of options or number of options. Okay, so let us try this. So let me try to change the name of this. Bootstrap hidden dropdown. So bootstrap hidden dropdown spec.ts. Right. So I have not put any wait time. So it is, we'll see whether it is able to capture the options or not. So it is successfully logged in. Also, it is successfully clicked on the PM tab. Everything is fine, but you can see returning 0. The number of options in the drop down is 0. So why it is 0? In the previous example, we face same challenge. So we are trying to capture the options here. As soon as you click on the drop down, immediately we are trying to capture the options. So here it is taking some time. Okay, this is sending an Ajax call. So as soon as you click on this drop down, what we need to do, we need to put some timeout here. Okay, this is the problems. Await page dot wait for timeout, and let's keep 3 seconds I will put. Okay, if 3 seconds are not enough, we can just put max 5 seconds. So now I have added this timeout so that it will take some time to capture the options. Then we will able to get the count here. Okay, so one more time, run this. Okay, now we can see it is successfully clicked on the drop down. So now 28 options are displayed. Perfectly fine. Now, so we can print those options. So next thing, print all the options. So how we can print again? So in the same procedure, in the last example, we follow the same example. How we can print all the options? Again, you can write a for loop because we already counted. So we can create let I equal to start from 0, I less than count, then I plus plus. Okay, so inside this, we can simply print, take this options and dot nth of, we need to pass I value here. And which method? Inner text or text content. So I'm using inner text, and this will actually returns the inner text value. So this inner text will return a promise. So use await. So keep everything inside the console.log. Okay, so this will actually print all the options. So I'm writing console.log, printing all the options. Okay, so now let us see. The login, PAM, open the drop down, and it is trying to capture all the options. Now you can see these are the options which we have in the drop down. Okay, we will try text content also. Comment this. Okay, perfect. So text content is perfectly working. So we can try this option. Text content is working. So we will check all text content also. So before printing using for loop, what I will do is don't take a specific element, take all the options. And here we use all text contents. So you can see all inner text method also there. All inner text, all in text contents are also there. So I'm using all text contents and we'll see what is an output you will get. All the text contents. PM and then go to drop down and trying to capture all the text contents. So you can see here where you have printed all the options. You can see all text contents always return an array. You can see that. See, all the options are written in the form of array. All the text contents. So you can also use this option. So now again, if it is an array, we can easily read this array by using for off loop. You can capture each and every element. You can directly print it. Okay. So you guys can try this. So we have printed all the options. Now finally, how to select an option? We want to select a particular option. Select or click on option. Again, try to write a same looping statement and instead of capturing this, I say instead of console.log, we need to capture the element first. So here we need to write one conditional statement inside the for loop. First, we will capture the all the items. So let us capture this and storing into a text variable. I say const or text. You can use a let also. Okay, const text equal to this is the one. So I'm capturing the text of each and every individual option. So now we need to compare this. If the text value equal to, so I want to select one of the value from the drop down. So I can say there are so many options. So account automation tester is there. So let me provide that automation tester. So if the text is matching with this, so then I want to select that. So await from the options, get nth of I, get nth of I, because we need to pass this I value here. So first it will capture the text. If the text equal to automation tester, so that we need to capture and we need to click. So options nth of I, same I. So whichever I we are passing here, same I, same element dot click. So this is how we need to, as soon as you click on it, immediately we need to break the loop. So this is how we can select a specific option from the drop down. So I will also put some weight here so that we can see that option is successfully selected or not. Let me make 5 seconds. Login, PAM, drop down. So here automation tester is an actual value which we have to select. So it is printed everything and it is not showing anything, right? Let me keep properly. I think there are some spaces. Save it. Run one more time. Okay, now we can see automation tester is got selected. Done. Okay, so Playwright is having the own debug features. So we need to run in the debug mode. So that also possible. So I'll show you that options later. We have so many debug options. So there are built-in debugging options are there. Playwright itself is provided those options. It is very easy to debug the code in Playwright. It's not much difficult like Selenium. Here it is very, very easy. So we can also use something called time travel feature and we can also use something called debugging at the UI level, and even locators also automatically we can generate. So those options, the features are there in the Playwright itself. So we will discuss all the features separately. Okay, so this is how we can handle bootstrap or hidden drop downs. Okay, very important. So in the modern web pages or modern applications, most of the times you see these type of drop downs. So you should able to handle. So if you see these type of drop downs, it won't work. Select option method won't work. Select option method provided by Playwright, it works only for static drop downs. Okay, traditional drop downs. But the latest new type of drop downs, they won't work. So make sure you can just try this, and I'll give you one more assignment. You guys can try this. Go to mintra.com. So this is another page. So here you can see the search box, right? So here you can just type some keyword, let's say mobile or mobiles. You can see different mobiles are auto suggested. So these elements you can inspect. So this is not hidden. Just like Flipkart, it is not hidden. So if I inspect and right click is not working here. Right click directly cannot inspect. So what you need to do, just press F12 button from your keyboard. Your DOM will be open. Now take this arrow mark inspector, then you can inspect. Suppose I want to inspect this one, mobile Vivo. So you can see that. So this is the element. So this is not hidden actually. It is an auto suggest drop down. It is just a auto suggest drop down. It is not a hidden drop down. So you can handle this. And similarly, you guys can also try other drop downs. So again, employee status is there, subunit. So other drop downs are there. So you guys can try. Okay. And instead of using this approach, you can also use all text contents. So you can get all the text contents, and then use all text contents always return an array. So once it return an array, from that array, you can capture each and every element and you can do that. So instead of using the traditional for loops, you can also use for off loop. If it is an array, we can use for off loop. That is also possible. So these are all the different combinations and different ways to achieve the same task. So you guys can explore and you can try that one. Okay. So that's all about drop downs. So in the next class, we will see about some other type of elements. We will see tables, how we can handle the tables and all. Okay. So that's all for today's session. I will stop here. We will continue tomorrow.